Hello guys, Shak from Empowered Running here. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I carry for setting up a shelter should I need to, should I get stranded overnight, be lost, be overdue, whatever the situation is. And guys, when it comes to shelter, your clothing system is part of that. I carry an extra pair of tights, an extra pair of socks, I carry an extra beanie in my bag. And the three things to think about is having something to sleep in, so like an emergency sleeping bag, although those have a reflective surface and they're not real breathable, they'll make you sweat, so you need something inside that. Like I carry a poncho liner. Otherwise, you're just going to sweat and lose moisture. And of course, if something happened after running all day, you can't afford to dehydrate. But something to sleep in, something to sleep on. I carry a Sea to Summit inflatable mattress, and something to sleep under, which is what I'm going to talk about today. And guys, I'd really like your input on what you carry for shelter systems, because what I carry ends up being about a third of my weight, and it's probably the thing I use the least often unless I'm just practicing with it. But it's the thing you would absolutely need potentially if you had to spend a night out, especially during conditions right now. It's the middle of July, there are fire restrictions in effect, and it's monsoon season. While it is our warmest overnight temperatures is during July, you're going to need something besides a fire when there's fire restrictions to keep you dry and warm. And if you can stay dry, you can stay warm, but if you get wet, the overnight temperatures could become deadly quickly. So first I want to show you what I carry generally with me this time of year. It's a hiker's tarp, 5x7. It doesn't weigh much, but again, I'm carrying a air mattress and a poncho liner and an emergency sleeping bag too. But it's a 5x7 tarp. Pixel, you could go find something else to do, huh? I have it wrapped up with a piece of paracord that I'm going to slip off. Get the grass out of here. And guys, this is a skill that I would really encourage everybody to get out and practice with. But I've got my tarp here. I've got pieces of paracord. I've got tent stakes, and I've got a ridge line set up. I can tell the difference. I know the ridge line immediately because it's bigger. Now, both the classes that have come to teach at our search and rescue in Montezuma County and the Pathfinder school that I attended in Ohio, they both teach the ridgeline system. I think it's a pretty familiar and basic system, but I'm just going to walk through it with you today. So first thing is to start pulling it out, and I'm going to get it around one tree. Now, on this ridgeline system, I've got 2 Prusik cords, which I'm going to get to where I can actually use them away from the bowline at the end. So then I'm going to pull this around the tree, making sure my Prusiks, of course, are out past the point where I need them. You guys, I'm going to take one of the tent stakes. What I'm doing here is I'm pulling a piece of the line through the bowline, and I'm just dropping a tent stake through it. What that's going to allow is for me to put tension on the cord without putting a knot in it that's going to, over time, destroy the integrity of the line of the paracord. Then I'm going to bring this around this tree. Got this all pulled out here. And guys, to pull this tight, we're going to make what's called a trucker's hitch. So you're going to get a bend in this. I could actually drop the one end while I do that. And you're going to pull it up so you got a loop like this. And I'll put a still shot in that so you can see what it looks like later. But that gives you something to pull against. Actually got that being more of a slip knot right there, so I'm going to do that again. That's why it's good to get out and practice this skill. So guys, if you feed this through, this tag end through, and you pull on it and it collapses, that's a slip knot. That's not what you want because it can become hard to untie at that point. So you got to make sure your bite is in the right direction. Now, see how that is? I can pull on it and it's not slipping. That's what you want. You can then start pulling on it to get this ridge line tight. And then you just take and pull a slippery half hitch through, and that's going to hold your ridge line up. Then you've got your Prusik cords here. I'm going to take my tarp, my stakes, now guys, this is a lightweight tarp, and I carry it just for the reason that it's light. This is not the tarp that I would carry during colder temperatures. Again, July is our warmest overnight temperatures. Now with the Prusik lines here, oh, one other thing I want to point out about these, come in close to the camera here, hopefully you can see it. Because this is a lightweight tarp, I've reinforced the grommets with Gorilla Tape to make it stronger, so that if there's wind, these grommets don't tear loose and I end up losing the shelfing. So. Share that with you. And I can take the cords that I've rigged on here. I'm just going to pull this Prusik through. Again, you could use, I'm using a tent stake, but you could use a stick or anything to connect this. But once this is in there, it makes a connection between the Prusik loop and the knot that I have here. And make sure that I've got this long legs here. Same thing. Going to use this to set up a lean-to shelter. Now the Prusiks, guys, I can just slide till I pull my tarp tight. Then I'm going to take my other stakes. So guys, with a lightweight tarp, some paracord and some Prusiks, I've made a shelter that I can get under. Conveniently, this happens to be facing southwest, which is the direction that our storms normally come from, that I can get in to help keep me dry, to help keep me warm during a fire restriction, or if for whatever reason I was unable to get a fire going, if there were no fire restrictions. In the next video, I'm going to show you one other type of shelter to make with the same ridgeline setup.